Welcome back to the ice season 2020, the start of the 2022 ice season, and we got some new gear to share with you guys. I love making fishing videos, but I love the gear videos, and hopefully it helps you make a buying decision. First off, full disclosure, I work with Ion Ice Augers. I film promo material, I rep their stuff in my videos, so I do have a partnership with them. That being said, I switched over to the G2 3 winters ago. I thought that was like the Cadillac of ice augers. That's what I was, using that along with the pistol bit. But now I'm excited to share something new. It's gonna replace the G2, it's gonna replace the R1, it's gonna replace the original Ion. It's all going to this now. This is called the Ion Alpha. There's the Ion Alpha and the Ion Alpha Plus, which is the composite flights. You got the 10-inch metal flight, 10-inch composite flight, 8-inch metal flight, 8-inch composite flight. I'm gonna do a real life test. We're probably gonna do this a couple times. It's tough to replicate exactly what a day of ice fishing is like, because typically you wouldn't drill back to back holes. But today we're gonna take this battery, this 4 amp hour battery that this auger comes with, and we are gonna drain it. We're gonna drill out the whole battery, see how many inches of ice you can get. I used this Ion Alpha for the last couple weeks of winter. The videos you're seeing dropping now from last winter, we're using the Alpha, and pretty much picked the worst winter of my life to test it because it was super thick ice, tons of slush, like layers of ice. Yeah, you know what? I should just give you guys a little look over before we get into the actual drilling. Just looking at it, it looks a little more robust than the G2. Less plastic, more metal. It's got the metal rigid frame here, which I really like. It looks industrial. Trigger system, and one thing that's super cool about this trigger, it's actually variable. So in the past, it's been like either 0 or 1, but now when you press it, you can actually choose the speed. So you can go slow or fast, which I've never seen that on a trigger before. So if you're like slowly trying to clear out a little bit of slush or pop through a little bit or just reopen holes, you don't have to go 100 miles an hour. So that's the first thing I noticed that was, unique to it. You can just like crawl it along really slow or full speed. Next, you got the switch, the reverse switch. So this is a little easier to tell if it's in reverse or not. I mean, now it's clicked in, it's reverse, right? So now you can push slush down the hole. If your auger gets jammed, you can reverse it out. But in the past, there's been a button you click, and you sometimes don't know if it's actually in reverse or not, and then you spin it and sometimes surprise yourself. The battery mechanism locks in a little more solid. When you flip this switch, it's got a little lever that comes out there and locks it in. And then it's got this, frame on the outside which protects the battery if it gets smashed around. If you drop your auger, it's gonna hit that and not smash the battery. You got the light, which lights up when you're drilling holes in the dark or in your shack, which is nice. I can't imagine breaking that. It's pretty robust. What else is there to say? I mean, the whole power head is where they shaved off a lot of the weight. This whole thing with the 8-inch composite flight is 15.9 pounds. I really don't know how they can shave much more weight off of it, because you don't want the power head getting too light and flimsy either. So it's nice to have something solid in your hands when you're drilling. Here's actually the biggest thing that I noticed when I first took this thing out of the box, is the auger blades are so aggressive. We'll insert a close-up after this, but when you look at these blades, they actually have 2 cutting edges. It's got your normal cutting edge, but on the inside, it's got another edge. The only downside I could see of that second edge is it'd be a little bit tougher to sharpen. What I've done is when I do need to switch blades, I'll buy new blades. Sharpening blades is definitely an option, but sometimes it feels like unless you get the angle perfect, you're sometimes doing more harm than good. But I mean, I know people sharpen blades and that works great. I just think with this added angle, it might be a little more of a challenge. It's very aggressive cutting angle. It's fast. This auger tears. The G2, I thought, how does it get much faster? Well, it got faster. So 15.9 pounds, 3.4 inches per second. I'll put all the stats up because they're all, different for each flight. They say up to 2,000 inches of ice. So obviously we're testing this in, it's April, middle of April, but still just awful ice conditions. We're gonna measure how much ice there is in one of these holes here. So they say up to 2,000 inches. Do I think we're gonna hit 2,000 inches? Probably not. There's a little bit of snow and a little bit of slush that'll hurt us a bit, but that's real ice fishing. The only thing that isn't real ice fishing is you typically don't drill back to back holes. I'm not sure what's going on in the battery. I'm guessing it heats it up more than it normally would. So you probably get less holes than if you were to scatter them throughout the day. But anyways, I think people just generally want to know, for me, what I look for in an auger is lightweight, reliable, and the speed is never at the top of my list, but I want something that can drill a lot of holes too. So anyways, we're going to burn through a full battery. So we're going to give it a shot, but we'll check how deep the ice is. I think I had a hole cut from before here. Let's see what we got for ice here. All right, it's locked in. I would say 26 inches, maybe 26 and a bit. All right, it's time to pop some holes. Hopefully we don't hit any slush pockets. That will definitely slow us down a little bit. Sometimes when there's those layers of ice and you hit that water in between, it makes it difficult. So anyways, we're gonna just start popping. Sam, I love you. I'm probably not gonna drill a heart with your name this time, but doesn't mean I'm not thinking of you. All right, Ion Alpha Plus 8-inch, real life test. We got a fresh battery and we're gonna start popping. Oh, there's so much ice. 1. 2. Another thing I noticed about this is it's got a good amount of power. Normally I would clear the slush halfway, otherwise it would bog down, and it's chewing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Feel the burn. 10, 11, 12, 13. This is borderline needing an extension. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, this is number 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Time for a break. You know what? On the topic of cutting lots of holes, since live scope has become a thing in ice fishing, I drill way less holes. You know, with accurate mapping, if you're fishing a rocky point or something for walleyes, you can get on that point with drilling 1 or 2 holes and it's accurate enough. And then with live scope, if you're looking for crappies or something, you drill 1 hole and you scan 100 feet around. I'm so out of breath. Before, you'd pop hole, pop a hole, pop a hole, drop your vex, keep moving. So the need for, you know, the days of drilling 100 holes aren't there either. I can see a situation, you know, often the argument against electric augers is sometimes on Lake Winnipeg, where you're burning through tons of ice and you need to move and it's, you know, a different situation. I've personally never needed more than 2 batteries in a day of ice fishing. I'm not a guide on Lake Winnipeg, but we're at 25. So 25 holes. I mean, there's a bit of snow that I didn't account for. I'm not sure really how much that would change, but I mean, what's 25? 25 times 25. So 4 times 25 is 100. Well, whatever, I'm just gonna keep drilling holes. Well, no, I'm gonna figure this out. 25, carry the 2, subtract the 5. All right, we cheated, we pulled out the phone. We're at 650 inches, approximately. That's not counting the snow, and might be closer to 27 inches of ice. But anyways, 25 holes. There's so many variables when you're doing these tests. It's like, how hard and clear is the ice? Is it, how much snow is on top? Is there slush? How warm is it? How cold is it? All right, here we go, 26. So if you ever ran it all the way to the bottom like I just did, which happens, that's where you should clear your slush. You just flip that reverse button and it'll bring it right out. The worst thing you can do is just keep forcing it, because eventually you're gonna break your wrist or break something. All right, let's take a little breather and see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 45. 45, and it says we're down to 1. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 50 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 51. 51, we're showing 1 bar, so we're probably like 1,300 inches. 52. 8. Oh, might be almost dead. 59. Like who? Who needs this many holes? Tell me. It's on 1 battery. Oh. 60. 60 holes. That's good. For this much ice, that's more than I expected, honestly. Well, we'll keep going. Oh, we're hitting slush. 61. Will we get any more? Oh, come on, baby. I think we're at 61. Will we get 62? All right, 62. We're calling it. Brandon, What is 62 times 26? All right, guys, 62 holes on the 8-inch Ion Alpha Plus, 1,612 inches. I think that's like a good midwinter representation. There's a lot of snow, slush mixed in there, but that's 1,612 inches of ice. That's a lot of ice. I think with 2 batteries, you'd be good in like really any situation. But anyways, I am super pumped to add this tool to my arsenal for the entire coming season. I love testing new gear out and I like sharing the results with you, but this video is not done. I want to test one more battery. So a couple weeks from now, Brandon and I are going to come out again once there's a little less snow on the lake. It might be like second week of May, but we're going to film another video and see how the auger compares on some different ice conditions. Here we go. I think this is going to be a bit of a workout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do these in grids of 10. 50. I'm not even breaking a sweat. Something I have noticed about this auger is it breaks through very smoothly and it doesn't torque you at the bottom of the hole. And it's still showing full. I wonder how many I'll do. So I got 70. 98. 99. Wayne Gretzky. 100. We're down to 2 out of 3 bars. Starting to feel a little bit of a sweat. The weather's getting nasty. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Why am I counting still? I can just count the grid. All right, just had to stop to take a selfie, but I think we're at 180 holes. All right, we'll keep going. 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 rows of 10. Guess we'll keep going. Battery's not flashing yet. Well, I think we're at 240 holes with like a decent amount of ice. I mean, 6 inches, 5 inches, something like that. We'll measure it yet, but 240, it's ridiculous. So obviously it's so tough to say how many holes this would actually drill if I wasn't going back to back to back to back. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Whew. I guess we'll just keep drilling holes. I think she might be nearing the end. 250 holes. I can feel it slowing a bit. It's not flashing yet, but I think it's probably near the end of the battery. 251, 252. Bit of a delay. If you can't find the fish after 250 holes, you should probably find a different sport. Well, is that it? We're at 257? No, we're not done yet! Come on, baby, get 260. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Sometimes popping off and putting back on kind of resets whatever in there too, and you get another hole or two. Okay. I'm calling it at 260 holes. Yeah, somewhere between, I would say, 5 and 7 inches of ice. We can do a legit measurement yet, but I don't know. You never really need that many holes. I mean, the things that I'm looking for now is lightweightness. This is the lightest 40 volt in the market. I appreciate that. I appreciate how robust it is. All right, well, I found the soft tape. So we're gonna measure this. I mean, there's a bit of snow on top, but we're gonna measure the actual ice. Well, that's more ice than I thought. Right from the bottom, you can see right there, it's 6 inches. Somewhere between 5 and 6. I just cut 260 holes and I'm not in shape by any means, and it didn't beat me up. So I'm a fan of the Alpha. And the other thing I will say is after using the 10-inch, if you're on the fence about 8 or 10-inch, the 10-inch cuts and is, you know, so fast, so light, I would just go to the 10-inch if you fish for big fish. So that's it. That's my real honest review of the Ion. It's a beast. I think it's the best electric auger on the market. Make a cool little thing in the ice, lay down, make a thumbnail, and then I'm just gonna go back to ice fishing the rest of the season with my Ion.